Hello and welcome to Lamplight Crochet. My name is Laura. Today I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful scarf. I've named it the Cozy Winter Green Scarf, and it is certainly cozy. It's very warm. I've made it out of this yarn called Lion Brand Homespun yarn. It's a number 5 bulky weight yarn, and it's a little bit tough to work with. I've used an I 5.5 millimeter hook, and I would consider this a beginner-friendly project because the stitch is very easy. But I will have to say that because of the nature of the yarn, that you have to be extremely patient with it, and you have to use a large enough hook not to catch up in it. And I will be demonstrating how to do that, this scarf here, on a Red Heart Super Saver medium worsted weight yarn, so you can actually see the stitches. So in order to do this project, you'll need a yarn needle, an I 5.5 millimeter hook, and a tape measure. What I have done is made my scarf until it reaches 53 inches. That's a comfortable length for me, and all you would have to do is just continue stitching in order to get to the length you want it to. Don't forget to add a sharp pair of scissors, and now let's begin our project. Okay, this is going to be my example to you on the medium worsted weight yarn in Red Heart Super Saver because it's much easier to see the stitches. So I'm going to demonstrate the stitches with this weight of yarn. However, I've made the scarf out of Lion Brand Homespun yarn 5 bulky weight. So now you can see the difference between the same number of chains with the same size of hook in 2 different weights of yarn. This scarf measures a little over 4.5 inches in width, and so in order to get that width, you need to chain 13. And this is a chain of 13 in the medium worsted weight yarn Red Heart. So see the difference there? Probably a little over an inch. So in order to make this scarf, the pattern calls for chaining 13, and then we're going to place the hook into the second chain from the hook. We do not count the yarn that's on the hook. The very first chain to the left of the hook is the one that the yarn is coming through, and then the second chain from the hook is the one that's next to that, and we'll place our hook there, wrap around, pull through, wrap around, pull through, and so that is a single crochet. This scarf is made entirely of single crochet. So by the time that we finish this first row here, we will have made 12 single crochet across. And this is how you work on this scarf until you've reached 53 inches in length. So let's go across this first row here. Now I want to mention that when you're working with that bulky weight yarn, you want to make your chain very loose and your first 1 or 2 rows very loose in order to be able to see well where you will stitch next. All right, we've reached the end of the row here. When you reach the end of each row, you're going to chain 1 and then turn right to left. And then we are going to single crochet in the first one from the hook across and continue like that until your scarf reaches 53 inches in length. If you want it that long, if you want it longer, a good idea would be to put a tape measure around your neck and see how long you'd want your scarf, and just crochet that long until it's reached the desired length. All right, so I will meet you back up at the end of the scarf where I am just about ready to reach 53 inches. We'll see you then. Okay, so we've reached the very end of our scarf, and mine measures about 53 inches long. I have one more row here to do, so I'm going to do my last 12 stitches across this row. And so you can measure your scarf as long as you want it to be, and you know, differing people will have differing lengths of scarf that they're comfortable with. So I like mine at about 53 inches, and so I'm going to make my last row, which measures at 53 inches. So we just come to our very last stitch here, And basically that is it. we are just going to clip the yarn a little ways up, about 4 inches or so. And always when you snip the yarn, you just pull the loop on through and then use your yarn needle in order to weave the yarn back in on the other side. Now in this case, this kind of yarn, you may not use that yarn needle at all. You might just want to pull the yarn in and out of the scarf this way and just weave it in this way in until the end is woven in. All right, so now you can enjoy your beautiful scarf, and I'm so glad you joined me. Please join me for other tutorials and be watching for new projects. Thanks for joining me.